Good morning. Thank you again for choosing Balance with Britt. This week's topic will be about financial discipline. Now, financial discipline is different for everyone and unique to everybody's situation, especially if you have multiple incomes, one income, or it kind of depends on your lifestyle. So, I'll be going over some of the tips that fitted my lifestyle at the time that I wrote these tips. And I believe these tips, I wrote these maybe 2017. And that was the time when I really got serious about my finances, my financial journey, and being realistic with what I was doing with my money because I felt like I was making good money, but I never saw it. And it's just like I feel like I was spending it on bills, credit cards, but I was like, where is it going? Where is everything? So I did some research, I reviewed some other people, or I just kind of sat there and thought, what do I need to do to change my situation, or what can I start doing to change my situation? One of the things was knowing what I was up against. And that was looking at my numbers and looking at my credit cards, my bank accounts, my debts, people I owed, or how I was spending things. And that was knowing what I was up against, how much I owed totally. And kind of figuring out how much I was also bringing in and where it was going. So that took a moment to pause, take a deep breath, and actually look at my numbers, look at my finances, open the mail, open the emails, go into the accounts, and actually be like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm up against. So looking at that, taking a deep breath, and then telling myself it's possible. You can do this. Learning the basics of money. Growing up, my family was not financially savvy, so a lot of things I had to learn as far as finances, I learned the hard way, or I had to learn on my own, or I saw others doing or trying, and then I decided to see if it worked for me. So it was a lot of trial and error. Learning money. I mean, a lot of people do learn aspects of the backgrounds as far as Dave Ramsey. That's always a good place to start. And other financial people like Susie Orman were back then at the time when I was looking at finances, kind of key people to kind of go to and see how they were kind of advising as far as finances. Another thing is just getting mad about your financial situation. If it's not in your favor or you're not happy with where your finances are, the only place that you can kind of start fixing that is with yourself. Kind of looking at what am I doing, getting mad at yourself because you control your finances if that's your situation. Or say if you have a significant other and both of you are using your finances, getting mad not only at them but mainly at yourself, trying to see where you can start and how you can kind of shed some light on you all situation. One thing I had to realize was slowing down or completely stopping using my credit. Like my credit cards, it was, oh, I can swipe it here, come back and pay it later, and I wouldn't. Oh, I can use this here, come back and pay it later, and I wouldn't. I did that initially, and then emergencies came up, trips came up, other events, things I wanted to do, and then after a while, I would forget, probably on purpose, to go ahead and pay the balance, and the balance would start stacking up. And I've done this several times. So that discipline aspect is something that I still work on as far as, oh, I need to go back and pay on what I used as far as my credit card, or don't use a credit card at all. So that's one thing, because credit can get you. It looks convenient, it looks cute, it looks comfortable, it's right there. You're like, oh, let's go ahead and swipe and I'll come back later, and you never come back later. You end up swiping again. Paying yourself first, and that can be simply as savings, starting off small, $5 here, $10 there, automating some savings, paying yourself, so that way you can have something to as a backup, as an emergency, instead of going straight to credit cards. And I use a high yield savings account that I generally can't see. So I know the money's coming out, but I don't look at this account often. But I know I have a savings somewhere, emergency savings, but I make sure I'm like, I can't see it. So that I won't feel tempted, oh, let me go over there and just pull this out and use this on that. So I have an easy access savings account with my regular checking that has about 1,000 in it, to where I can easily access that. But my major savings, my emergency savings, is somewhere where I can't see it, and I'm paying myself first. By every paycheck, something goes into it. No matter what, keep going, because setbacks will happen, emergencies will happen. You'll have meltdown days. You'll have days where you're feeling good and you want to treat yourself and you go a little overboard, or you'll have family members or kids, somebody coming to ask for something. So setbacks happen. It's just you need to realize when the setback occurs, how much damage the setback has done. Take a deep breath and see how you can get yourself out of that setback, and then keep going forward. Your plan will change weekly. Some people's plans change daily. I review my plan weekly to see what did I do, what's going on, and what changed, because life happens. So no matter what, keep going. But you do have to make a plan. So making a plan in the first place, so that way you can have some guidance within yourself of which way you're going and what you're working on. If building your savings is your plan, then you build a plan or strategize towards building your savings. If paying down debt is part of your plan or your overall goal, then you build and strategize towards how you're going to pay down your debt. If just putting up money for a trip, vacation, or saving up for kids' college is something that you're working towards, and you develop your plan and strategize towards that goal. Practice mindful spending. That's something I had to work on. I still work on it every once in a while. And it got to the point where I was building up and buying my house where I was overly mindful. Well, I was anxious about where every dollar was going. And after I purchased my home, it took a while for me to kind of finally tone it down and breathe a little bit and be like, okay, you reached this goal. It's time to create you a new goal. But still being mindful as far as just spending, because every dollar counts. Going to get coffee every 10 seconds. Going out to eat, or not cooking at home, not getting your meals in bulk, and just going out every 10 seconds. All of that adds up, including gas, time, energy. You're missing out on money, and you're spending more than what you coming in, is what often happens when you're not being mindful with your spending. You have to evaluate, do I need this? Can I do without this? Is this something I need right now? And my rule for myself is I take 24 hours and think about, do I really need this? Do I really need to buy this? I sit this in a cart, like if I'm shopping online or if I go to a store. And if I come back, it's gone. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. That's just how I have to put it. With all that being said, you are allowed to have some fun. You can put some money to the side as your fun money, miscellaneous spending, kind of budget for that, even though, so you won't go overboard. Because a little fun turns into a lot of fun real quick without thinking about it. Brunch turns into Sunday fun day. And I've done that. Sunday fun day, 4 o'clock roll around, you can spend $200 on brunch, movies, the streets, pedal taverns, because I live in Nashville. So everything adds up. So give yourself a little fun while you're on this journey. You have to remember that you're on a journey. Now, if you're not on one, go all out. Go forward. But while you're on a financial journey and trying to get your discipline together, have a little fun here. Reward yourself here and there. Getting a dessert every once in a while. Buying you a small, affordable bag if that's what you're into. Or taking yourself to the movies. Or getting a massage. Those can be small rewards. You don't have to go all out. Especially if you know that at this time you can not financially go all out. And those small rewards help you to kind of feel a little bit better, knowing that you're on this journey and you're not fully deprived to where you go binge spending on a random Tuesday because you're just tired, which I probably did that before. So I kind of relate to that part. Changing your environment is one thing. Are you around people who have higher incomes than you and you're trying to keep up with them? Are you at a place where you can't afford to be there? Are you at a point in your life where your goals have drastically changed from what they were not too long ago? So you have to adjust, change your environment. Sometimes you got to relocate mentally, not necessarily physically, relocate mentally and get your mindset together and be like, oh, I can't hang out with so-and-so them. They make this amount of money and I'm not quite there yet. I can hang out with them once a month, but I can't go out with them every Sunday. Okay. Or either these people have multiple incomes and I only have one and I'm maintaining what I can with this one, so I have to step back a little bit. Challenge yourself. Challenging yourself is a huge key as far as what I use as far as my financial journey. I'm very competitive, so I take that competitiveness and put it against myself. What can I save this week? How much can I pull over to the next check? What can I bring here? How much cash can I fill up in this jar? Challenge yourself. It can be something simple as saving $1 a day, or taking all your change and putting it in a jar, or doing a no spend on sweets, doing a no spend on breads, or a no spend day, because sometimes those no spend months can get a little overwhelming because you got to spend a little money here and there. So challenge yourself. Find a challenge that fits you and where you're at and kind of make it fun. Find a way to make it creative and get a reward at the end of that challenge so that you can get that fulfillment of some satisfaction there or some type of happiness at the end of the challenge, and then do another one. Some people do like savings challenge. Some people do like a quick cash challenge, coins. There's so many out there. Pinterest, YouTube. It's so much knowledge out here. It's so easy to click a button and you get the information. We've already talked about identifying your plans and financial goals. Figure out what you're trying to do. Try not to overspend on gifts. Have a conversation with your family and your friends. Get a gift card, or either buy some gifts that are on sale and then rationalize them out, or either talk to your family. Like one year, me and my family, Christmas, we was like, hey, only the kids are getting something. Sorry, y'all. Everybody's at a rough point right now. We're all getting together, but only the kids are getting gifts. Sorry, adults. You're grown. So we had that conversation. But over gifting or having something luxurious, if you get a gift for somebody and they don't appreciate the thought and the effort that you put behind it, and this is not talking about spouse, marriage, all that type of stuff. This is just saying in general. Then maybe you should rethink your gifting methods, or even getting them a gift at all. And I know that sounds kind of mean, but you're spending your money. You got to think about where that's going and where it's coming from. Never buying on impulse. Control your emotions. I know it's easier said than done. As somebody who gets emotional sometimes. Oh, that's cute. I should be able to afford that. I work so hard. Bring it down. Take a deep breath. Bring back to reality. Go look at your bank account numbers. Whatever you need to do to bring yourself back to reality. Control your emotions. That way you won't be doing things by impulse. Every sale ain't really a sale. They just put that on there to kind of entice you and make you feel good about buying it. Oh, I got it on sale. And it's not really a sale. They spent half the money on that than what it took to make it. And then they getting it back after you and doubling the price. So, almost there. Got a few more tips, and then we'll kind of go forward there. Spend less than you earn. That's knowing your numbers. That's knowing how much you're bringing in. And that don't mean like spend $1 less than what you earn. Cut it back. Live within your means is that term that people use. You can don't live above your means. You getting paid. Don't be splurging with the credit card, and you know that $500 bill finna come back around next month and you can't afford it. Live within your means. Comparison shop wherever you go. Don't just buy the first sweater you see. Go online and compare. Go to the Goodwill and see if you can find it. Comparison shop. Even when you're buying cars, buying homes, compare and contrast. Is this what fits my needs? Is this what I need right now? Can I do without this? Or can I find this somewhere cheaper? Self-awareness. Changing your bad habits, knowing when you're the problem, and evaluating the problems that you do have. But this is part of developing your discipline. This is part of knowing where you're going to start and where your goal is going to be. Know yourself. Don't be going around people that are enabling you and telling you, girl, you live only once. And then they got debt piled up to the ceiling and they struggling the next week. But they told you YOLO. And here you are YOLOing with them, and now both of y'all struggling. So be realistic with yourself. Self-awareness is a huge thing. Encourage yourself. Write notes to yourself. I have a note on my bathroom mirror. Like, you got this. It changes here and there. You got this. It's okay. Breathe. Sometimes you have to give yourself reminders. Or set a reminder in your phone. But encourage yourself along this journey. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially if you've had a major life change financially and you're coming into something different. Crush your weaknesses. If your weakness is online shopping, figure out a way to stop it. Delete the app. Put reminders in your phone. Nope, you don't need it. Nope, don't do that. Go in the store. Figure out what your weakness is. If your weakness is saving, put your energy into figuring out what's the best way for you to save. Because the way Susie Orman saves may not be the best way that you save. The way that Dave saves may not be the best way that you save. Figure out how the best way for you to save. Even if it's starting with pennies, coins, automating it, getting cash out the teller, putting it to the side, stuffing your mattress safely. Figure out what works for you. And my last thing here is just revise your plan as you go along. Every plan ain't gonna work out perfectly. Every plan you see or pick up from somebody else ain't for you. You have to figure out what's for you in your situation. Okay? What one family does may not work out for you. What one girl does may not work out for you. What one guy does may not work out for you. We're all different. So individualize your plan. Make it special to you. I hope some of these tips were helpful. This is some of the stuff that I have to read over and over again and tell myself again. Because even when I do reach some goals or I do get out of a bind, I have to go back and be like, wait. I don't want to go back there. And even if I end up back there, which may be a setback, I go back and I read my notes. I go back and watch videos. I go back and listen to some of the greats, that are handing out the good information and the good details. And then I have conversation with like-minded people that are similar to myself. I surround myself with. I don't go around other folks whose situation is totally different than mine, because you're not going to get the same type of energy. You're not going to get the same type of advice. Okay, so thank you so much again for hanging with Balance with Britt. I've been trying to keep it short, y'all, because I'm a little long-winded sometimes, and I try to get straight to the point. More content is coming. I'm working on it here. So again, we'll be talking about finances, traveling, life in general, healthcare, nursing, all the above. Let's bring it all in together and work together to get balanced and have a good life. All right, y'all. See y'all next time. Thanks.